going too fast. I'm taking three.
I'm going for the St. Louis now.
Oh no!
Son of a bitch.
You get your two?
Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and today I have two video clips, and the first one we're looking at is right here, right now, in the Pensacola. I am grouped up with Linwolf today, and he's also in his Pensacola, so we were just, going out, trying to earn some extra money, and yeah, just sort of seeing the Pensacola some more, I suppose, trying to have a little bit of fun in it. Spoiler alert, though, this is a heartbreaker, so just get ready for that. So the original plan here, as we're going in, luckily Linwolf and I spawned right next to each other, and you can see it's a 4 cap point domination. And the way the team is spread out, it looked like A and B would favor us based on where we started. So I was going to head over to B and see what I could maybe uncover over there, what I could get accomplished over there as well. That's the original plan, and Linwolf is coming along as well. Getting into the coffee early today. But anyway, some enemies do start popping up, right? We can see them out there. They are in my within my range, so why not put some shots into them? You can see I do have high explosive loaded, and if you look up, you can see that there are a number of destroyers, and that is why I had the high explosive loaded. I assumed that the first ship I would come across is a destroyer, when in fact it turned out to be that Pensacola over there, and no destroyers as of yet. Now, because I don't want to continue to go into B, you can see there are at least 3 enemies over there, 3 cruisers, so an Atlanta, a Miyoko, and a Pensacola. And given that I'm in a Pensacola myself, yeah, I have no real want to go any further into B than I already have. Linwolf, on the other hand, does decide to push in a little further, and then suddenly a destroyer pops out, right? So I have got, I think it's my high explosive loaded right now. My idea or strategy behind that would be to put the one salvo of high explosive into the destroyer there, and then have my armor piercing ready to go for the cruisers in the background. That was my plan, and what I was trying to do. Now, unfortunately, the destroyer does manage to slip away, but there is this Atlanta right here, yes. I've heard talk through the old grapevine here, people comparing the Atlanta to a destroyer, saying that it's basically a larger destroyer. Oh, that was nice, wasn't it? But I can sort of agree with that in terms of, what an Atlanta does. I don't know if we would see an Atlanta as a destroyer, like a lead destroyer in that sort of role. My understanding historically of the Atlanta was it was more or less an AA ship. How many guns can they fit on this hull to be able to shoot down enemy planes, and as a result they came up with the Atlanta. In fact, the Atlanta had so many guns on her that in terms of fire control, it was hard to actually control all the guns and get them effectively shooting at a singular target or at multiple targets. In that respect, I don't see the Atlanta as being like a lead destroyer from a historical standpoint, but within the game, I can see how it definitely plays like one. Anyway, putting shots into the Gremioshki, you can see we've slowly meandered our way over to the C point, right? We don't actually have the B point. We did tap the A point. I did finish off the Gremioshki, so now I'm at 2 kills. So that's not too bad, but we're kind of putting pressure on this C point, or at the very least trying to whittle down the enemy some more, get some of these ships gone, clear it out of here so that we can take the C point. I was hoping at this time in the battle that my team would be pushing B. And they are, they're around B, I should say, right? But I really wanted them to get B capped so that we could have A and B, and then we could all focus on C and get these enemy ships down, keeping in mind this will be a heartbreaker. So still in and around C, I'm still putting shots into whatever I can. I got a nice citadel on that Pensacola. Not really a surprise though, right? We all know how terrible the Pensacola armor is. And you can see the way I'm playing my Pensacola is very standoffish. I don't want to get too close to the action. I don't want to take a bunch of hits because I can't. This ship just can't take hits. It has some good guns on it though, and like I talked about one of my previous videos with regard to the Pensacola, I don't necessarily like this ship, but I can understand why people do like the ship, because you can have some amazing games in this ship if you're playing it properly, and if you're really paying attention to the battlefield around you. That's really important when you have such low armor. You got to keep your situational awareness up. If you lose situational awareness, you will find that the Pensacola is soon to be at the bottom of the sea. Circling back around, making another run into sea. Again, I felt that B was pretty secure. You can see we are at least capping it now, or attempting to cap it now. So I felt that B was fairly secure, and that it was time it is time to continue the push on C. We want to try and get these enemies gone. Again, that's what we're looking at. That's what we're hoping to get done in this battle. Because I want to win it for the team. We are up in terms of points, I think, right now, but it's really, really close, so, you can't really say which team has the lead or not. And we're even for ships destroyed, I believe. So that's, not too bad. I've got this enemy Pensacola. He's right there. The plan here is to let him come around the island. I'll put a salvo into him, and then I'm going to turn to the port. I don't want to turn to starboard, because that's going to leave my broadside exposed if I'm unable to take out that Pensacola. If for whatever reason the Pensacola doesn't come around the island. I'm starting to make the starboard turn now, because I wanted, it looked like he had stopped and he was on to my tricks. So it looks like my plan of going to port, putting the salvo into him, it's not actually going to work. But that's okay, because it means that he's also turning away, right? So now I still have my broadside exposed to him, but he's not going to be able to effectively put shots into me because of the angling involved here. Not so concerned. You can see shots went in, didn't take a whole lot of damage, got fairly lucky. But he is avoiding torpedoes, and it makes it hard for me to put shots into him to finish him off, right? And that's the idea here. I want to get him gone. While I was focused on the Pensacola, there are some enemy destroyers that have made their way around and behind us. Essentially what they did is that they went down the east side, captured the D point, and then continued to push along, and now they're behind us, so this is a bit of an issue. Bit of an issue here. So I have high explosive loaded, and I'm putting shots into the destroyers. Need to get these guys gone. Just can't let these guys, screw around in the back of us. It's one thing to have torpedoes come at you from the front. At least you'll be aware of where they're coming from, hopefully, right? And be able to dodge them as best you can. Oh, my poor destroyer ally over there. That was close, wasn't it? I did get the kill on the destroyer, so that's up to 3 kills for me now. But as I was saying, you don't want torpedoes to be coming from behind you. It's very, very hard to account for ships that are in front of you, plus torpedoes coming in from behind. Try and keep that in mind as well. So when you see destroyers flanking you, if none of your allied ships are dealing with it, and if you are in a position to deal with it, then yeah, you definitely want to do that. Definitely want to take out those ships. I believe the destroyer I'm shooting at now is a Nicholas or a Farragut. It looks like a Farragut, actually, maybe. Anyway, so I'm putting shots into him. I mean, he is starting to retreat, so I'm getting less concerned with the Farragut at this time. This was probably a mistake on my behalf. Yeah. And then I got hit, excuse me, by some fairly large shells. I believe it was a battleship who did that to me, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm still dealing with this Farragut. I want to try and maybe not, well, obviously I want to kill him, but if I don't kill him, then I want to be able to scare him away. The Farragut does ground himself. Yeah, that was a big mistake there, buddy. But he is, for the most part, on, fairly high health. And with the armor that the Pensacola has, I've been doing this in my Farragut. If I come across Pensacola, I'll switch to armor piercing, and I'll start putting armor piercing shots into him. it does surprisingly a good amount of damage. It is actually like really surprising. I found I didn't expect to do that much damage in a destroyer to a Pensacola. It really speaks to the lack of armor that a Pensacola has. Is what that speaks to. Now the destroyer, the Farragut, he is gone. I didn't actually get the kill. An ally got the kill, but that's fine, right? Those two destroyers who attempted to flank us are gone. Unfortunately, during all of that, we lost the rest of my team. Yeah. It's just Linwolf, myself, and another ship remaining. So it's the three of us to try and pull victory out of this. It's not going to happen. It was a heartbreaker. 3 kills. I definitely did my part here. I definitely tried to do as much as I possibly could. I've got this Pensacola. It's the same Pensacola we were shooting at from the beginning of the game, and I want to try and get him gone. My shots are going in, but he has also fired at me. Damn. At least I got him, though, right? That's something. 4 kills. Let me tell you, though, I was really angry at the end of this battle. I wanted to win, and I was playing to win, and the team just wasn't there. Whatever, I suppose, right? What can you expect? Moving on into the next clip for today. Yes, you are not seeing things. I did buy a Tirpitz. So, I'll tell you the story here. As you know, when Tirpitz first came out, I was angry with the price that was being offered or had to be paid to get it, right? I'm in Canada. I don't know if any of you follow the markets at all, but the Canadian dollar is incredibly weak at this time. And so as a result, here in Canada, if I wanted to buy a Tirpitz, the cheapest that I had to pay was $86 for their Tirpitz bundle thing. And I thought that was outlandish. I wasn't going to pay it, and I just wasn't going to do it. Anyway, the weeks went on that the Tirpitz was being offered. Weeks went on, and I kept reading about the Tirpitz, hearing how awesome it was. More or less, I was salivating about the Tirpitz. I wanted it bad. And then I went to the premium shop, and I saw that there was only 9 hours left. I was in pretty late, and there was only 9 hours left to the Tirpitz sale. And I'm a weak man. Like I say, I have the money for it. The money is not the problem. It's the principle behind it of how much I had to pay for it that just really grinded my gears. But I sucked it up and I bought it. Here it is. Now that I have it, I have to say that I have no regrets about buying it. I am so happy that I did buy it. I love this ship. This Tirpitz is amazing. People will argue with you that, oh, the guns are crap, and oh, you can't shoot at long ranges, and this and that, and the other thing, right? They're wrong. They haven't played a Tirpitz. The cannons on this thing, yeah, they're smaller caliber. Your stock range is 21 kilometers, and yes, your dispersion on the guns is a little not as great as some of the other tier 8s. I'm thinking of the Yamagi specifically, but the guns hit so hard. Even if you land one shell on your target, it's going to do a crap ton of damage as long as you have properly aimed your shots, so that you know that something's going to hit it. It's amazing. The hit points on this ship, this thing is a brawler to the end. With the amount of secondary batteries and the torpedoes on this thing, it's clear that this is a brawler. I love this ship. I just can't talk about it enough. We saw that nice kill there that the destroyer got, and it took out the Cleveland, so that was awesome, and was first blood as well. We are on fault line, so I'm moving over to the west side by the ACAP point. No real surprise here. This does tend to be the where battleships will go. Now, most times I try and stick to a different strategy, and I try to actually go to the east side. I don't go up Torpedo Alley right into the Sea Point and cap it. I'll go on the other side, just to the left of those islands, and run up that channel. But where I'm in a Tirpitz, and this wasn't the first game I played in it, but it's one of the first games, so I'm still testing it out, and I want to test the the brawling capability of this ship. So I knew by going on this side that I was going to be brawling it out with other enemy ships, and that's what I wanted. So here I am. I've got another Tirpitz with me, actually. What is that in the background there? Was that in North Carolina? Not sure. There were a number of different battleships around. Yeah, it is in North Carolina, actually. So I was putting shots into that guy. They don't actually hit. I don't know, I guess they do, yeah. But you can see, even though like a few of my shells hit, did lots of damage. Another great thing about this Tirpitz, the turret turn speed and your reload time. Yes, look at this. I am all reloaded, ready to go. There's a Congo. He's a stock Congo, so let's give him some good news. You know, let him know that he's got some Tirpitz over here who want to play. Shots go in, and I get a nice Citadel on him. I think it was about 12,000 damage I did in that Citadel hit, so that was not too bad at all. Pretty pleased with that. In terms of maneuverability of the Tirpitz, yes, it's very fast. You'll do 30 knots in this beast. It does turn slow, though. Obviously, I mean, it's a big hulking ship. It's long, so you're going to be, it's going to take you a little while to actually get this ship turned around. I'm used to this, though. I play, my Japanese cruisers. I know they're not as big as a Tirpitz, but they are long, and they do have similar turning radiuses, radii, I should say. And in addition to that, I've got the Amagi as well, right? So the Amagi is, again, a long, fast, it's a battle cruiser, actually. Not like the Tirpitz. Tirpitz is a battleship, full-blown battleship. But it also takes a while to turn around. So this is nothing new to me. I'm fairly used to it. I've got this, what is that, an Oba? I've got this Oba over here, so I'm putting shots into that guy. You can see there are enemy ships coming around. They'll soon be firing at me or the Tirpitz in front of me, so I need to keep them aware, or keep aware of them, shots coming in, where they are on the map. But I'm not necessarily too concerned with them, because you can see I've got a shit ton of hit points remaining. I'm feeling fairly good that I can actually take a few shots here if need be while I'm finishing off this Miyoko, or rather the Oba. Because that's what I want to try and do. There's a destroyer there, so I'm also keeping this guy in mind. I want to be able to dodge any incoming torpedoes that may be thrown at me. So just being aware of where he is and what he's doing. And I'm turning now, right? So, yeah, I don't want to go too far. I want to actually be able to cap the A point, because right now all we have is C. So I want to give us this 2 cap point advantage. The Oba's there again. I put some final shots into him, and I do finish him off with a last Citadel. So that was great. I mean, I didn't need the Citadel hit on him, right? He had very low health anyway, but always nice to get. I'll take the extra points and credits. Dodging some torpedoes here. You can see there were 4 torpedoes, one spread of 4, so that was actually from the Oba. I do believe, anyway, he had launched those off at us, but I managed to avoid them, so, big deal. Unfortunately, my ally Tirpitz here in front of me is kind of getting the shit kicked out of him right now, and I think he did actually take a torpedo as well, so, yeah. Dodged some more torpedoes. Yeah, those were from the destroyer, so I wasn't too concerned about those, because I had a pretty good distance to actually be able to maneuver around them, right? So yeah, not concerned about them. But we have, or rather we are capping the A point, and the plan here is once the A point is capped, I want to just keep going straight and maybe go over to the B point. That plan doesn't work out for me, unfortunately, because you'll notice that the number of enemy ships are going to be coming around this island, or this little headland here, to face off against me, right? I don't want to get that close to all of those enemy ships. There are some battleships there, right? And I want to, even though I'm in a Tirpitz, doesn't mean that I'm going to suddenly start playing stupidly. I'm still going to be playing, smart, or at least what I would consider smart. And I'm just going to avoid that situation. I turned away from it. You can see I, reduced my throttle down, was easily able to make the turn, and pushed away. While this is happening, I do want to take a minute here and just explain to you what is happening with the waves in the ocean. Yes, I'm sure you noticed when I loaded it up. I actually have a mod that increases the wave ferocity, maybe. It doesn't do anything to your to your maneuverability, your speed, aiming of torpedoes, none of that. All it does is basically, like, think of it like a skin for the ocean. It just makes the ocean a little more turbulent, and I really enjoy it. Unfortunately, with the update that took place on October 7th, which was yesterday, I think it was October 7th. I don't know. Maybe it was the day before, October 6th. Who knows? Anyway, because of that update, my mod doesn't work anymore, and I have to re-download it here. I found it on Reddit. Yeah, this is where I got it. Once I have the new updated one, I'll share that link with you guys in case you want to download it here and try it out. I did actually take the mod from the old patch and just copy and paste it into the new patch, and I thought that would work. It doesn't, for me anyway, for whatever reason. It just messes with my frame rate, messes with the game, so I had to take it out, and I'm going to have to look for an update on it. Anyway, you can see I essentially just did a circle around this island, right? I wanted to buy myself a little bit of time here while I was re-evaluating the situation, and it really actually did work out nicely. I did get a nice little hit on the salvo I just sent out at an enemy ship, so that was great. And my team is like pulling this off, right? We've got A, we've got C. We're just destroying them in terms of cap points overall. We just really need to sink a few more enemy ships here, and then we've got this. We don't even have to wait for the 1,000 points to pop up. We're not even going to get to that point. So basically now at this point, I'm just trying to find any enemy ships within the range that I have to actually start putting shots into, and it starts sinking. I'm not, I'm sure you all know, I'm not a battleship driver, right? I would classify myself as a cruiser captain. I enjoy cruisers, love them. Battleships, like I say, I play them because they're big and awesome ships. They look cool. But I'm still really not good with that whole scout plane thing that extends your range. And frankly, I don't really want to have it on my Tirpitz. I just haven't switched it over yet. But I was talking to Rommel about that, and he was saying that your scout plane is better at detecting enemy destroyers than the fighter plane. I haven't tested it out for myself yet, or done my actual research on that as of yet, but it's something that I'm keeping in mind, which might actually motivate me to try to learn how to shoot in that crazy scout plane mode. Maybe. I'm only 29, so not too old. But I have been playing, the ships since it was during those closed alpha weekends. It was playing it since then, and this is how I learned to shoot my battleships. Was without that thing, and I just don't know. It's just hard for me to get around. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I'll try. So North Carolina is out there in the distance, still putting shots into them. And now we're capping the B points. We've got all 3 points essentially at this time. The enemies are just in a full-blown retreat. You can see them. Right out there, they are just running away. I really wanted to get that North Carolina, but one of my allies finishes them off, and that's the main thing anyway, because he's not out there anymore, not able to put shots into us, so not too bad. While the game is sort of finishing up here, I did want to just talk more about the Tirpitz, because I love this ship. I know a lot has been talked about the comparisons between Tirpitz, Amagi, and North Carolina, right? From what I have seen, is I'm really enjoying the Tirpitz playing this more. 235,000 credits is what I earned in that battle. I wasn't top of the team by any means, but because this is premium, you earn a crap ton of experience. I had no flags on, no. But it did result in victory for us, and yeah, loving the Tirpitz. So that is about going to do it for us today. I do thank you very much for sticking around, watching the video through. Keep in mind, if you have any replays you want to send in, thotgor1@gmail.com. It's in the comment section below as well. Be sure to send those in, and once I get the new updated wave mod here, I'll put those in the comments of the next few videos, so you guys can try it out as well if you'd like. So as always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.